Hey there, it's Mark at Reno's Music Guitar Hotline. We are back today with Rogers Lee, a catalog songwriter from our community in the Indianapolis and greater area. And I'm privileged to have him on the channel today. We're going to talk to him, get to know him a little bit, and hear a little bit of his music. Rogers Lee, thank you for joining me today.
My pleasure, yeah.
And are you originally from Indianapolis, or?
No, we raised our girls in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and we moved here in about 12 years ago.
Okay.
I really love where we live. We live on the White River, and we're from Fishers, Indiana.
Okay.
My children are grown, and we're part of the community here in Indianapolis, and we love it.
Awesome. Yeah, our guitar store started in Indianapolis. We're in Fishers, Indiana now. That's what we do. We sell guitars, and we collaborate with our social media at times with some of our local friends. And so I'm excited to learn a little bit more about Rogers Lee's music and what's been going on with him. So I sold Rogers this instrument a year ago.
Yeah.
A year ago. This Martin Cutaway. He's playing on stage, so I wanted the cutaway and the pickup. So this model really spoke to him. Do you recall anything about?
Yeah, so we were recording a large catalog called Curse of the Cowboy, which is basically country western film, and it's for Sync, and that's basically what we do at Round Table Recording Company in Broad Ripple, Indiana. And there was a piece on there called Lost Goes the Cowboy, and it was one of my favorite pieces. But the guitars that I had at the time were too bassy, and I couldn't really get the campfire sound I was looking for. And that's why I purchased this directly from you. It was one of the best guitars I've ever purchased, and the reason why I say that is I write a lot of songs, as you know, and that guitar is responsible for quite a large number of songs over the last year.
Awesome.
Easy to write with, easy to hold, handle. Sounds terrific when you're plugged in at the studio and you've got a producer and engineer and people breathing down your neck, and it's never failed me yet.
It served you well. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
All right, you've been writing a catalog. How long have you been writing music, and what does catalog mean?
Yeah, that's a great question. So 30 years ago, at the age of 29, my wife got me a guitar for Christmas, and I downloaded some at that time, some chords from the old internet, and she was a volleyball coach. And on the same day I downloaded those, first day with the guitar, I wrote a song. And when I wrote that song, with those chords, I cried, and I said, "Is this just me, or did that sound okay?" And my wife got home from playing a volleyball match with her girls volleyball. She's a coach. And I played it for her like 1 a.m, and she just literally was sobbing. And that was the first day a Rogers Lee song was born. I cataloged everything, which means I wrote it down, organized it.
Okay.
And wrote a song a day for a long time. The difference is I wrote them by myself. I cataloged them in books along the way. And then when I finally played live, a few months later, I signed with Round Table Recording Company as a catalog writer. So 30 years of cataloging music, go figure, It's an inventory game. You have to have inventory. And that's one of my strengths is inventory, yeah.
Had you ever been on a stage before you started doing songwriter stuff?
No, these are all great questions. So, it's a small community. The music community is very tight, and Joe Shelton, who's a local artist and has his own podcast, and was hosting open mic, and my wife signed me up and said, "We don't want you playing us any more songs." So I went there, and basically Joe threw a microphone in front of my face and said, "Play." And I sang, I think 3 songs at that time, and you associate with people that like your music, don't like your music, and eventually, just short months after that, I signed a contract with Round Table Recording Company. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. How the guitar kind of holds, I'll play a little for you. So you remember when I purchased this from you, it was I did play plenty of your guitars. That you have wonderful selection here. I like the personal service because I didn't feel like I was in a place where, hey, everybody that comes in here thinks they can play guitar. You really treated me like a brother, and I kind of felt like truly a family member when I was purchasing this. And I was looking for a certain sound, and what I loved about you, Mark, was that you didn't judge me for what I wanted. In fact, I think I had about a $5,000 guitar in my hand, and this was quite a bit less, but it was the sound I was looking for. Mm-hmm. So that would be my advice of the day is get what you're looking for with the sound and the comfort, and check the price later, because sometimes you can get into an expensive guitar and the next thing you know, it's not the sound you were looking for. So go sound first would be for me. And so on that note, this was a song I was writing at the time. It's called Lost Goes the Cowboy. It was a very emotional song for me because it was very true. And I kind of pictured myself back in the day, just trying to find maybe, the perimeter of a property or the responsibility of fixing something, a fence maybe, collecting livestock or whatever, and what it would have been like back then. And when they didn't select this song for that catalog, it was very personal, because I thought this was possibly the best song I had ever written. And so I was on my back porch wondering, why didn't they select that song? So I was messing with these sounds, and which is an E and then an F sharp, and that was included in the song of Lost Goes the Cowboy, which is like see if I can remember this is. Lost goes the cowboy, caught up in an early rain. Too late to turn that saddle back now, doesn't recognize this place. Lost goes the cowboy, down comes the rain. And that was kind of like the start of that. You can kind of see the the young man looking for whatever he was looking for. And I thought maybe the selection wasn't made because of the the E and the F sharp, and so I kind of got into the G, which we've all heard G before many times. I was like, well, maybe if I wrote that in G, they would have liked that. So I was like down here, and I think for me, just finding that chord, any songwriter will tell you, it's almost a picture. And so my sadness of Lost Goes the Cowboy turned into really what I was worried about and upset about, which was sitting on my back porch, and we had just lost our mother-in-law. And so for my wife and I, she's a tall Swedish woman, very family-oriented. And sorry if I get choked up, but she was kind of our coach, And the other part of that was the water. We live on the river, and the water was so clear. And, just like now, in this time of year, it started turning into silver. It was like you're hoping the sun is still there. You're hoping it's summer, but you got to put a jacket on, And so I think from Lost Goes the Cowboy came the river. And, the river's an interesting story, Mark, because it went from finding a chord, and then it ran into, a licensed director. I texted it, and I had no idea what was happening with this song, and it just started taking off. And the licensing director turned it over to the producer. The producer turned it over to an engineer. The engineer turned it over to an owner. And the next thing you know, at Round Table Recording Company, we all just came together and just made this song called The River. And I had completed it and turned it in. And man, when I was finished with this song, I cried. And I'll play a little of it for you if that's okay.
That would be awesome. Thank you, man.
Yeah, and so this chord turned into that, and then I was down here, and these are typical chords, maybe a little muffled, but and then I found that one, and then I tried to play it like this, right? And then as soon as I did this, I was just staring at the water, and I started getting pretty sad and like, come on, summer, you can do it. And this song is called The River. It comes out October 3rd at midnight, which is a few days from now. And it's by Rogers Lee. I love the river and the way it moves along. When the water turns to silver, means that sun is stepping out. As for that sunshine, and when it slips away, at the risk of being cold enough, when the water starts to change. As for my woman, that's on my mind for sure. The way she moves her hair away, the way she stole my heart. The river and the sunshine and my woman, yeah. She makes me wanna stay, makes me wanna stay. I'll say the river and the sunshine and my woman. And then the song goes on for there. And I think really the lesson from the river is, once you find something creative in your life, whether it's selling guitars or, making music, I think sometimes when the creativity starts, you just got to be there to catch it and get it out there.
Yeah. I've had the privilege of hearing this song and many other Rogers Lee songs, and the lyric choice and the rhythmic strumming patterns all match perfectly. The lyrics spin a story. They really do. I mean, I know this man pretty well. I'd like to get him know him a lot better, but within these stories, you do get to know him because they're very real, and they kind of transfers, human feelings and what we experience. So no matter what genre you love or what your main thing is, these songs hit pretty hard. So good luck.
Yeah, thank you. You can
Rogers Lee.
You can read my story on rogerslee.com.
rogerslee.com, and where else can we hear that stuff?
Instagram and Facebook is connected to that. That's all new.
Okay.
My Instagram thing is going crazy after a week.
Good.
This was a lot of help from a lot of people.
Yeah.
But at midnight on Friday, October 3rd, The River will drop. I said on Instagram, I've been writing for 30 years, but I think once The River kind of got in everyone's ear, this one's for everybody. We're going to drop another song that Joey Sommer and I wrote together. He's an extremely talented engineer, producer from Indianapolis, and we wrote another one that was the same way. We turned it in, and everybody was like, please produce this.
Yeah, nice.
And that's a big song, and that comes out more of a large production song that going to come out November 3rd.
Okay.
So that one's called Gonna Be Home Soon by Rogers Lee and Joey Sommer, right here in Indianapolis, my man.
Are these all going to be stamped on an album, or are they just singles?
Well, there's singles, and it's helping the catalog sync community get a hold of who I am, find my name.
Yeah.
That's been a challenge for us because I've decided to write for 30 years, and the company I work with is encouraging me to get my name out there. I have to throw in a shameless plug for Roundtable Recording Company. These people they reflect Indiana like nobody's business. It's they're just wonderful humans, extremely good at what they do, make me feel comfortable, surround me with great musicians, great people, and that's about it.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. This is super exciting. Thanks for joining me, Rogers Lee.
Yes, sir.
Catch him on rogerslee.com, and appreciate your time here at Guitar Hotline, and we'll see you on the next one.